Okay. So why don't we start off with our goals, because we haven't talked about that in a while, and I know that's your next comment Mary's going to say is, how are your goals doing? But humor her and start off with our goals, and then we'll go into PowerPoint and how to use it.
Okay, I'll go first because nobody else is talking about their goals.
I was dead silent in that room. That's funny.
Well, as I said, my January is really tanked. I know we've got a week left, but I don't know that I'm really going to be able to pull it out. So I'm very frustrated by that. And right now, my February is looking like crap. So that's why I think I seriously have to go into the direction of virtual shows. Because if I don't even need them to leave their house or get out of their pajamas, then it could be a winner concept. So that said, that is the direction I am planning on going on into, and I would like to book 24 shows in March and February and March, and do them virtually, because I figure I've got to do something, and I've been playing around with this virtual stuff for a while, in, out, and I've got to make the commitment. So my commitment is to do the virtual stuff. So that's it. I'm looking to do 24 shows in February and March, virtual. And, I would love to supplement with some regular cooking shows as well. But I think I see my business changing from cooking shows with virtual and catalog being kind of the little, added, to virtual and catalog being the main thing, with cooking shows being the little added. I'm seeing the dynamic of my business potentially changing. My God, you guys all look like deer in the headlights. Like, oh my God, what is she?
How many shows did you say you was trying to do? I didn't hear that.
For virtual shows in February and March, I'm shooting for 24.
Oh, okay. I knew it was high, and that's why I was like, huh?
That's what we all had deer in the headlights. Look, I'd be happy to have 5.
Well, I figure if I could put 24 shows on the calendar for those 2 months, that will certainly get me, even if I put half of those on the calendar, it's going to get me over my fear of virtual.
Well, and what I'm going to do is I want to work through a template today. I actually had somebody contact me out of the blue wanting a virtual show. Well, she said,
"You're really bad cutting out. Every time you said something when Mary was speaking, you was really bad, and every time you talk, you're really bad." So I was like, "Is it Mary messed up?" And then I realized you was saying,
"Oh my God,
son," and it was all. It's hard to.
Is it any better now?
Yeah, that was better.
Okay. Love you, babe. Bye. So I had somebody contact me out of the blue wanting a virtual show. So I talked her into letting me start it on the 28th. That's not true. Starting it on the 31st and ending on the 8th. So it gives me the couple of pre-day posts and then basically a 1 week of posts. She wanted the January host special, and I said, I promise I'll get you that if you let me start it then, because I've got this new format that I'm trying. And she said, sure. So now I'm going to try to get this. I do this booking blitz this morning from 9 to 11. So I want to kind of go on that attack to try to get a few more lined up with that. Virtual has never worked for me, so I'm very leery of this. And I'm definitely not putting all my eggs in one basket because it scares the hell out of me. But I do want to get some other live shows going too. So my goals are basically to get my calendar full. I have nothing in February. I will probably have one based on this Saturday's host rebooking and rescheduling because she can't do this weekend. I have one here at my house this Wednesday, tomorrow night, which is the whole ordeal I was talking to you about, Donna, with doing that presentation tomorrow night. But and I'm not even sure she's got anybody coming. We had 5 confirmed on hers before we had to change venues. My biggest kick in the gut is that the 2 places that I was doing shows at when people didn't want to have it at their house were those 2 grocery store rooms, and they both have decided to change their policies and not allow people outside to use the rooms. So I just lost an amazing opportunity, and I have to counter with that because people who didn't want to have them in their house, I could easily talk them into having them at those places, and it was golden. And so now I'm out of that option. So yeah. So yeah, booking. And then I also need to requalify next month, February, or lose title. So again, yeah, because it was November was the first month, December was fine, and then no, December was low, December, January, February. So if I don't do it by February, I lose title again. And I don't see it happening this month because I only have one person who's turned anything in. And I've only got $500 in sales myself. So I'm not even at my $750 yet. But it doesn't mean it's not possible. So, we're good. I'm not worried about it. I just have to get on it. So my other thing is to get a hold of each person on the team, let them know where they're at, make sure they know if they don't do certain sales, they lose their year-to-date sales as well. And I've got a couple people who are going to fall off in February if they don't do something. So that's where I'm at. It seems like I'm always at the ground floor rebuilding, but that's where it sits right now. Terry, how about you? I know you worked on your goals. Where are you at?
Well, I have taken it and broken stuff down, and number one, I have to have consistency in my sales, and if I'm going to walk in July, I have to get my 5 recruits, and I'm trying to break it down on, how to get my points to get to Disney. And I know I get 3,000. Just threw it out there. If I had 15 recruits, which I'm happy for 5, I would have 4,500 points, 45,000 points. And then if I could be consistent with my sales and have at least 2,000 every month per quarter, I'm going to get an extra bonus on my points. So I was working on points and stuff. I do want to have a full calendar, and virtual is part of the way. And I will be working on my bookings now that things are starting to settle a little bit. They've moved my dad into another place, and it's still, there's a lot of crap happening in my family. We lost somebody in the close to us. My sister-in-law's mother just passed away, and that was this past weekend. And I'm not making excuses, but life has happened. So,
well, I'm sorry to hear the loss.
But thank you. But it's my dad is really bad, and that's taken a big toll on me emotionally, and
yeah. Oh, I get it. And that's okay. That's why this business is flexible around that. So you do what you got to do, but we'll be behind you on your goals 100%.
But my main thing is trying to get my schedule full also, and trying to ask everybody, but do it and get my like elevator talk like Mary had. But yeah, it's going to happen.
Okay. Well, keep working. Keep plugging. Donna, how about you?
I've had some cancellations this month, but I've been still booking. I posted about Soup and Boots party and pictures of some soups, and I did have somebody message me for one of the dates. I had some certain dates on there, so that was something that worked for me, at least one extra booking. And then I've opened up the January special. I tell them, as long as you close out by the 15th of February, we'll date it January. So that gave me a few February dates that they want the January. February I feel like is old school stuff. I mean, that
it
don't
is
have all that somewhere to book in February.
Is that the rock crux or the stoneware?
stoneware.
February stoneware.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The only thing I
And
can say
long-
with that is get out that deep cover baker and show that whole chicken in 30 minutes. I went to go do that the other day and I thought about it and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think that fits my microwave. My deep cover baker doesn't fit in my microwave.
That's when I went to get my microwave. I had to make sure it fit.
Yeah, I just bought a recent one and it was just a quick $20 off a friend of mine and I grabbed it because we didn't have one and then I realized it wasn't going to fit my deep cover baker. So,
You know, everybody would rather have double feet. So, you know, if y'all open it until as long as they out, it may give y'all some extra February dates or sort of thinking, okay, let's do February.
you just broke up so
So
bad I have
that-
no idea what you just said, Donna.
Oh, okay. I said that if you open up your February for January, the first part, that may help
Yeah.
y'all get some booking.
Yeah. How do you
Probably.
word that to not get that?
I do it at my parties.
Do you?
Only time I've done it. I was sitting here contemplating making a post about it on Facebook because I do have, you know, a couple of other dates that they could squeeze it in. Like the
Because I know
5th.
they talk about it and tell us to do it, and they don't have any problem with us doing it at home office. I always feel like I'm cheating the system. I get guilty and don't want to do it.
Mhm.
But I've heard Jane Jonas talk about backdating it and doing it, and I'm like, okay, well, she's telling us to do it. I guess we can do it.
Another little thing I do, of course, this is, well, you can do this virtually too. I give my host a bonus gift if they get 3 bookings from their party. But I don't give it to them until the last party's held. And a lot of times, oh, I need one more, you know, and that's what happened to me bookings last night is, you know, giving them that bonus gift. So, you know, I don't consistently do it, but I'm going to start consistently doing it. Let the host do it for you and begging bookings. Let them, you know, start begging their free. I tell people to be a booking buddy, and sometimes I'll walk away without any bookings. Nobody wants to be a booking buddy, but it seems like if I get the host working for me, I get more bookings. So. And my virtual is hit and miss. Sometimes I have big ones, and sometimes I have little ones. So, I mean, I've had so many not qualify, but then sometimes I have a $700 virtual. I do the exact same thing. It's just, you know, how the host's friends are, I think.
You know what I need to, Kara made a comment about getting a template. That's what I need to do is be able to do a template and put it somewhere that I can just drag and drop.
Mm-hmm.
What I do, I do events, but I go to my previous party and copy and paste. And if it's somebody that's the same people, I'll go to another one. I've got 2 templates going. I can choose which one. And then if I just want to change it up and show a different product, like a quick cooker more, I sometimes grab from one and grab from another. But I got 2 good templates. It's really saved me. I don't have to worry. I can use that. But I just really copy and paste from previous parties is all I'm doing. So that's how the events help. I'd be lost if I did events like Kara's.
I do mine at events also. There's no way I would do groups. Groups have become a hassle anyway. People are having a hard time accepting invitations and finding their invites and all that. So events.
Yeah, they was complaining about it last night at my party, the group. How Facebook is just, you know, they're against the direct seller or something. So, but there were some direct sellers there at that party, so they was all yakking about it.
All right. So anything else anyone wants to add? Otherwise, I'm going to switch over to PowerPoint. Mary, what?
You cannot schedule on events, can you? You can only schedule.
No. Correct. And there was some lady who popped on a comment the other day and said she was scheduling on her events. And someone said it had to be a public event for you to be able to schedule. And I tried both. I played for a good couple of hours. And I tried a public event, a private event. And then I tried booking an event off of my group instead of just being off my timeline because someone said it had to be out of a group. And that didn't change things.
That's
So,
what I
like,
was wondering.
off my virtual group, if I do an event off of there, it still has no scheduling things. But This
What
guy
about a
Stephen, is
page?
doing 30 to 40 shows a month virtual, and he's posting them all by hand. He said it doesn't take very long because you have this template. He says he emails it to himself every month, how he changes things, and he just copies and pastes out that email and puts it in there and goes from there. So that shows you it can be done. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know, and go from there. Terry, what?
I said, what if we did it on a page, like your Facebook page? Can you do it there?
If you do it
Like
off
do it
your
at
personal
Eventbrite.
timeline, no. If you do it off of a business page, yes, is what I've been told.
That's what I wondered. Okay.
But I don't have a Pampered Chef page. I only have my virtual group. My
Okay.
online community is what I call it, because I don't want a page out there, because you have to have, I don't need anything else to manage.
Hmm.
Although that may change down the road, who knows? All right, anything else? Otherwise, I'll switch over to PowerPoint because we only have about 15 minutes left.
Okay, no, we're endless. We can go on forever.
I have a thing at 9 that I have to do, so.
Okay. Just a quick question for you guys. Did you see the posting of the Stephen Joseph on Gold Diggers?
I did.
Okay.
I haven't listened to it, but I will.
It's a call we're listening to.
It is well worth listening to. And then go over to Coffee Talk.
Hmm.
And I think Kara directed me to this. The very first file is Stephen Joseph. It's the paperwork that goes with it.
It's
Okay.
all his scripts, and it's underneath Sharon Zellen call is how it's listed. All right, so
PowerPoint. I got to tell you guys, if you haven't used PowerPoint, listen to what Kara's going to tell you, because I did it the first time for that thing that I did last Wednesday, and I was amazed at how easily it came together.
It was fantastic.
all right, so I'm going to share my screen, and so this is what my PowerPoint looks like. I have the most recent version because I just had to redo it on my computer. So yours may not look quite this fancy or different color tones or whatever. When you first open up that you want to start a new project, this is the screen that I get. Yours is going to be very similar if it's not exactly the same. And then there's all kinds of different templates. So for people who like templates, this gives you an idea of what the color coordination for it's going to be, and you can go as simple as, you know, just a couple of lines, like this one that says crop right here, that's just got the lines on the corners, to, you know, fancy, this looks like a wooden sign with a dot on each one. I mean, it just depends on the color ideas that you want to do, and you can even change and create those on your own. But when you're first started, I think they're super easy to use. And what happens is when you start one, I'm just going to pick this one because it's what I used for my first presentation on the Wednesday night step assess. And it has these 4 different code combinations you do, and you can pick from whatever you want. And then it has slides already in here, at least the starting slide. And it just kind of puts everything in that. When you add a slide, it automatically adds that background color and automatically puts that in there. So it's very easy to work with. So I'm just going to go off of this one and just show you. So I'm going to go actually click on that and then click on create. It's going to pull up the whole presentation in that. So it has on here, click to add a title. You just put there and say whatever you want it to say. And then you have another one that says subtitle. And what this does is it automatically has it set up. The title is going to be bigger, the subtitle is going to be smaller, and then you go from there. So let's say, now what this has, if you don't like the all caps, this has been set up to be an all cap template. You can change it if you want to. Another way to change it and switch it out is to you either click the whole box and you go up here to where it has your different texts and you pick which one you want, if it's a header or a body, like in big capital letters, or then you can switch it down to any other font you want to change. You see how I'm hovering over it and it changes what it looks like behind me? That gives you an idea of what they look like. So it gives you that. Okay, so an easy way to kind of play with it and see versus clicking and going back and clicking, etc. So if you want to add another slide, so I'm done with this, and I'm done. I want to add another slide. There's a thing at the top that says new slide, and it gives you an idea of how you click on the little caret. It gives you all these other different options. Do you want another title slide? Do you want text? Do you want comparisons? And all these different possibilities, and it gives you boxes to then fill in. So it's really easy to do that. The other thing you can do is you can just add a blank slide. See, there's one down here that says blank. So it depends on what you're, if you're going to, most of the time when you do this, you're doing bulleted items to show people what's going on. Sometimes you're going to have a picture and some bulleted items. So like here's a picture with a caption. It really does make it about as simple as possible. So if I want to do a picture, you can do one of two things. You can drag and drop it in, or you can click on that and it'll find a picture. So let's say I want to go look at the slow cooker. I put the carnitas picture in there because I think that'll be pretty with the background color. And then I can sit here and put in my title. And then I can start adding in text. Etc. Now, if I think this wording is a little small, then you just go up and change it like you would on Word or Power, any other program, and you can get it as you want to go. You can also take these and turn it into a bullet list. And so you look at the top again, there's little dots that say bullets. You just point your finger at it and it shows you what kind of bullet you want to pick. And it goes from there. So let's pick the boxes. So here's something fun that I always like to do. Do you see it on presentations? You see how they've got different words that fly in at different times, the things that show up. It doesn't always pop up all at the same time. So up at the top, there's a series of buttons: insert, design, transitions, animations. When you do that, you have a bar that shows up with different stars on it. It has different words on it, like swipe, split, float in, fly in, whatever. Pick whichever one you want, and it shows you how it flies in. If you look at it, it now says 1, 1, 1, and these little boxes next to it, and that means they're all going to come in at the same time. If I don't want that, I click on the one on the upper right-hand side on mine right now. It should be that same toolbar. It says animation timing. On click, that's fine. And then I want it to be, that one's fine, which means it's going to click to commit. It's not going to commit automatically. But I'm going to click on number one again, and you see the second one down, and you see how it says with previous? I'm going to change that to say on the click also, and that changes it now to a number 2. Same thing with the last one. It says with previous, so it says number 2 on it also, but I want to switch it to say on click. So now what it's doing is when I go into the presentation, I don't know, I'll show you what that'll look like. I click once, there's the first one. I click again, and then I click again. That allows me to talk to it and click when I want it to come in. It's not going to automatically push them in, and then everybody has all of it. That helps keep attention. It helps to keep people on point with what you're doing. It also helps it look like you're not sitting here and reading it word for word for word on something that you've got going on. And I always recommend that you do something, simple phrases like this, and then you talk to it versus typing out a paragraph, because they can read that on their own. I really don't need to sit here and watch somebody read something word for word and read a paragraph to me. It doesn't keep my attention at all, and it doesn't for most people. We don't have much more than a goldfish mentality when it comes to presentations for attention span, so you don't want to do that anyway. So that's how you switch those to be animated. And there's all kinds of different ones. Fly in, they fade in, they appear, like roll open like vertical blinds. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do with that.
Kara?
Yes.
If you were going to take this, let's just say this particular page that you've got up right now, and I were going to carry it over to Facebook. So in other words, what I wanted to do is I wanted to post something on Facebook, maybe on my preferred customer group. And I wanted to talk about the quick cooker. And I wanted to say, love this, easy to use, easy to clean. And then I had a picture of the quick cooker. Could I post that and animate it? And so when people saw it on my Facebook page, it would say quick cooker, and then ping, it would bring up the love this, easy to use, easy to clean, and it would be animated on my Facebook page, even though I wasn't there babysitting it.
I don't know, because that would be like creating a GIF file, and I'm not exactly sure how to do those. So that will be homework for me. Let me find out.
Because I can easily see doing something like this, it animates it on your site so that people, you've got their interest now. And then the last thing I put on is call me or, message me for your show or to learn how to get this. Bless you. Bless you again.
Thank you. I don't know. As far as I know, there's not a way to take PowerPoint and turn it into a GIF. I'm going to look quick where I know to look and see if that changes my answer. Hold on, because I can see if there's different ways to save as. There's an option to save it as a GIF, but I don't know if it's an active animated GIF. So I will have to play with it and find out. I don't know. All right, back to the slideshow.
That would certainly be pretty cool if you could do it.
Yeah, it would be. So that is pretty much the basic. Let me show you a couple of other quick shortcuts. And then otherwise you really have to get on and play with it. So it's not like there's this huge, big, in-depth presentation teaching level on this. So if I want to do a second slide looking just like this, a quick cooker heaven, let's say I want to do another one for the deep covered baker. You can insert a new slide again if you want to, but if you want it to look just like this or very, very close, you can see how these are circled red when I actually focused on them. That means that's the screen that's showing me right now. I can copy and paste page, and you can do it with a right click and copy and paste, or you can do Control-C, Control-V, the keyboard shortcuts. So that gave me a second page exactly the same, but then I'm going to go on the bottom one, and then I'm going to change it. So I'll change that picture to whatever I want it to be. Come on. So let's say, I don't know. So then I would switch the wording. Okay, so then you just switch it and go from there. But I didn't have to like reinvent the wheel. I just copied and pasted and changed the picture and the words. The other thing that you can always do is insert a slide, which I talked about. It has no titles, no nothing on it. And the way you would then add anything to this is then you would click on insert, and you click a picture, a table, whatever you want to do. If you just want text, you come over here to text box. So if you click on text box, it gives you a little plus sign, kind of looks like an upside down cross. And then you start typing. And then you can switch it and change it to whatever you want. You want it to come across. I want this to have a different font. You change your font. So let's just say we want it to be that. We want it to be really big. Whatever you want to do with that. And then you can also add different special effects. You can change, with text, there's different ways to do like the banner signs. And all of these are up here at the top. So you just kind of have to get on and play with it. I know that sounds really vague, but it's all there, and it's all kind of a creative template type thing to where you can sit there and it's got the magic buttons to switch things. You can add shapes. I don't want to do it to where hold on. I want to insert, like, those conversation bullet thingies or an arrow. Let's just say I want to add an arrow and point to something. You can add arrows. You can change the arrow colors. want to make it black. I want to outline it red. And there's just all kinds of different things you can do, but it's all there. Like, you don't have to reinvent everything. It's real super simple. So again, like I said, I know that's been kind of vague, but you can overdose on how much you show too. So does that prompt any questions from you guys at all?
Quick question about, have you done anything with the PowerPoint slides that you get off of the director's loop to do your team meeting?
I went to go grab them and I couldn't find them. So I was going to just play with that while I was showing you, and I couldn't find them. So where exactly are they on the page?
I'm looking for them right now. They've moved everything around. My other question for both you and Donna, have you signed up for the Tracy call today? And if you did, where did you find that?
I signed up off of an email.
Yeah, it was on our weekly email, or what did they say? I so happen to see it.
I saw it though also under the nationwide leader calls.
Where is the nationwide leader calls? It used to be under
training and resources. Go to Leaders Resource Center.
There, it's not there.
Go down. It says nationwide leader webinar. Click on that, and then it says register for Tracy's January 22nd webinar on the top of the page.
I am not seeing it.
You clicked on nationwide leader webinar?
It's not offering me that. Oh, wait. I see it. Never mind. I must have looked at that a dozen times and did not see it.
Yeah, and then if you click on that, it gives you the Tracy's call. I'm muting myself for just a second because I got to blow my nose.
I'm clicking on it. It's okay. Here, register now. Okay, register. And okay, get rid of that. Go in here.
So I don't see the home office slides. Donna, do you know where they are?
The home office.
PowerPoint for your monthly meeting?
They was talking about it. I read it, but I hadn't even thought about my monthly meeting, even though I am having one.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out how to get those slides and then be able to manipulate them and change them.
Okay. I can look and see.
Mary, I'll keep playing with it and I'll let you know.
Okay, that'd be great. Yeah, because I know you got to leave shortly, so.
Well, yeah, and you do too, so.
Yeah.
All right, so any other PowerPoint questions that I can help you with? Donna, you've been on playing with it lately. Did you come up with anything?
Yeah, I mean, I did mine, but I seen some ways that I could have done mine easier and better. I mainly just got my slide, started one, and then I duplicated the slide.
Okay.
Started typing in it. So your ways would have made me like using a blank slide and creating exactly what I needed on it. It helped me. But I had trouble with the you said you could highlight your text and change your letters, which I know how to do that, but I never could figure out how to make some of mine be off of capitalization. I could change the font, but it would still be capitalized.
If you're using a title or a subtitle, it's going to do that. If you have to get a box inserted that's just a text box, then that will do that, fix that for you.
Probably because of my copying difference.
Yeah.
Duplicated them. It may mess me up, but I mean, I don't know.
Banditos, baby.
Okay. The only other thing that I would recommend before you do your presentation is to take, once you're done, is to go back through and try to make it as consistent as possible. Something that was taught to me in a presentation thing way outside of Pampered Chef in the corporate world was to keep your fonts only one or two fonts through the whole thing. You don't want every page to be a different font. You don't want lots and lots of crazy colors. You want to keep it as simple and clean as possible, and then try to keep your margining the same as well. If everything is different and crazy all over the place, it becomes distracting for people. I don't know how valid that is, but I always get compliments on my presentations, so it seems, and that's what I followed. So I wouldn't even say it's me as much as following that. And Mary did the same thing with hers, very consistent, very same sizing and things like that. So just food for thought when you're working on yours. It makes it just look cohesive, like you have a plan.
I don't mind y'all looking at it and make sure it looks all right.
Yeah, if you want to, let us know.
You know, I ain't no professional.
I gotta tell you, the one that I did last Wednesday was the first time I have ever used PowerPoint. So if I can do it, anyone can do it, because God knows I have no flipping clue when it gets to anything technical. Hi.
Hello, whoever walked behind Terry.
Oh, it's my hubby.
Hey,
I
hi.
have my earplugs in. He can't hear you.
But anyway, that was the first time I ever did it. Now,
They all
the
said
other
hi.
thing that I found on an Apple is that I had to take my slides, I had to put them on my desktop, and then I had to import them from my desktop.
Her pictures, not her slides, her pictures.
Pictures, whatever it is. I had to import them off of my desktop. I don't know why. There's probably a much simpler way of doing it than going through that 3-step process, but that's what I could make work, and that I needed to get it done, so that's what I did. And then I just eliminated it from there. The other thing that I do, I can recommend is save. Because
Yeah, I was actually going to just touch on that. Save it as soon as you do your first slide, and save it after every slide.
yeah, because I'm always in a blind panic about losing things. And so I kept saving. I saved it to a file, and I had the file on my computer. And that way, and to tell you the truth, and Kara was laughing at me about this, from the minute I started that PowerPoint till after I presented it, I never took it down off my computer. It was always just reduced it in the corner, because I was that frightened that I was going to lose it. Even though I'd saved it in a million places, I just...
And PowerPoint's not notorious for dumping things, but computers are.
Yeah.
So it's not a PowerPoint glitch. It's just, you just spend all that time to pull that information in and make it pretty, and then for it to dump, you're going to cry. So I always just hit, I'm a non-Mac user, so I just hit Control-S, which is save, after every slide, or just hit the little disk-looking thing in the upper left-hand corner. Save it, because otherwise you're going to get 5 or 6 slides deep and lose it and want to cry.
And the 2 fonts that I used, the one that I used, the bigger, bolder one, is called Marker Felt. And the other one was whatever it came in. I want to say it was like Coronado or something like that. It was whatever they offered, because that was the cleanest. But I kind of like that Marker Felt, because it just is kind of a little fun. So.
Well, and I will that some of it has to do with the version you have on your computer as well. Because I don't have a Marker Felt, the other ones, but I know which one she's talking about. So it just depends on your version of PowerPoint as to what it has in there. So, but just play with it and have fun with it.
Okay, and the Stephen Joseph is posted on Gold Diggers, so pull that up and watch it. The support material is on Coffee Talk under Sharon Zellen. And
if you can't find it, let me know.
And I just posted, what I did was I took the Stephen Joseph speech that he does at the beginning of that, where how he was asking for bookings, and I redid it, because after being in the business for over 16 years, I can't very well say, hey, I'm starting a new business. So,
you could say you just became a virtual consultant, so you could play with that in that respect too.
And that's kind of what I did, but I posted that, and if you guys have any comments, I am more than happy to hear your comments. And then we can just go from there, and please feel free to use it. If there's anything in there that you want, cut it, paste it, use it. I don't care. That's why we're all here.
So real quick before we cut off here, next week, do you guys want to do more with Canva, or do you want to do more with videos and editing videos? You just pick. Well, we'll do both eventually. Just which one do you want to do next week?
Editing videos?
I'm with Terry, editing videos.
Okay.
Doing editing it would be kind of a good. By the way, you guys, I hit one of my goals.
Yeah, she went live.
I went live, and then yesterday, last night, I went live twice. I looked like crap, and it was hideous. And don't ask me why that one is sideways, but you know what? I think it must have been the way I had my iPad, but I went live.
Good for you. Now you got to do it for your customers, not us.
Yep. Well, I'm slowly but surely getting over myself. So.
Yep. Yep. And then we need to work on camera angles. Always work on camera angles. Nobody wants to look up your nose.
Yeah, and work on camera angles. And I didn't know at the first one that I was on or not on or what. So that's why I'm kind of looking, and like you see me pressing things, and it's kind of like, is this on?
Woo. Okay. Anything else, ladies?
Sounds like
All
no.
right.
I wish you were closer so you could teach me more on the computer in person.
Terry, you definitely have to promote to director, because we have to have you come in September to Pam's director retreat.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome. All right, Miss Mary, you got the magic button. So, ladies, have a great week. We'll see you Wednesday night. I will not. I'm sorry, I won't be there. Maybe I'll catch on the end of it. But otherwise, I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Have a fantastic week and go get them.
Thanks. See ya.
See ya, Mary. When you hit end meeting, it'll stop the recording.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, you guys. Have a great week.
You too.